Yes.
Da 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 da. Jules can't watch a spooky movie. She likes some kind of lovey. Twilight was written badly, so instead we did Addams Family. Da 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 da.
Love. That was so good.
Thank you. Was it better than my improv? I'll just make this up right now on the spot for A Knight's Tale.
So good.
I had a line at the end that actually, and then I changed it right at the end. So we did Addams Family, but like, whatever. Hi, everyone. It's still Comfy Tuesday. My name is Natalie Katona. You're on my YouTube channel for To All the Men I've Tolerated Before. Your weekly look at, I almost just said everyday misogyny. Your weekly look at everyday misogyny. And this is my co-host.
Hi, friends. I'm Julia Washington, the host of Pop Culture Makes Me Jealous, where we analyze pop culture through the lens of race or gender, and sometimes both.
And this was almost not meant to be because all of the tech things were
so mad. They're so mad. The tech gods are angry today.
So if we seem frazzled, it's because we didn't get to just sit in the green room for 15 minutes chatting.
Yeah.
And Penelope has already parkoured off of the desk.
Hardcore parkour.
All right. Well, today we are covering, if you couldn't tell by my fantastic musical renditions, we are covering The Addams Family. And when I say The Addams Family, I mean the good one, the 1991 version.
Yeah.
But okay, but this is a question. Did you ever watch the original black and white TV version?
Every now and again at my grandparents' house, because whatever channel did the reruns for it, and we didn't have cable growing up, so I did see it in the summers on. I mean, obviously by the time we were kids, it was in reruns anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I was a big Nick at Night kid, so I've seen it and I've seen the Munsters.
Yeah, the Munsters. Mm-hmm.
The Munsters.
I feel like the Addams Family, though, was more taboo in my house because, if you'll recall, I was raised in a conservative Christian home.
Jules couldn't go to camp or learn about space.
And or you know, spooky things.
Yeah. And I think the Munsters were like the watered down version of the Addams Family.
And that's probably why it wasn't as like no kind of situation. Because I don't remember because the 1991 version was definitely like a no-go.
Oh, a no-go? A no-go?
It was a no-go.
We have one viewer, so this is a great time for me to pause and actually remind you that we have a live comment feed that if you are here, we can't see you unless you put something in the comment feed. Jules did a very Vanna demonstration. So make sure to go follow the Pop Culture Makes Me Jealous YouTube channel since we share this show. And if you are watching the replay, go ahead and comment your thoughts there too. This is truly like the only place except for Patreon that you can just have free access to like in the moment stream of consciousness comment on our stuff.
Yeah. Truly. But what my statement of like Addams Family was definitely a no-go. As I was watching it in the opening scene when we first get eyes on Angelica Houston, my first thought was, damn, ma'am, you are stunning.
Always stunning.
Always
stunning. We were a huge Addams Family house. Like we watched all of the movies. Like I haven't seen any of the recent ones, but I watched Wednesday and then didn't like it. But
is that because you're a purist? Like a 90s purist?
No, it's not because I'm a purist. It's just that I truly feel that Wednesday takes out the entire heart that is the Addams Family franchise. Like it was Addams Family for a reason.
Sure, yeah.
They're a ensemble. and they work
Yeah.
best as an ensemble. Now, I did
Mm.
try to turn on the cartoon because I was very curious if when they did, that newfound like claymation animation that they did in the more recent videos, if
Mhm.
they're as sexy. Like if
Yeah,
Gomez and Morticia are all over one
they're
another.
so horny for each
They're
other.
so horny.
Like, okay, I was like, this is such a beautiful example of when a couple is in love
Mhm.
and like genuinely wants to be together, which we don't often have, especially when you think about the 90s.
Correct. And here's the thing about the Addams family that always gets me tickled. And by the way, just because like Addams family and the so I thought the original Addams family was Addams family values, and I just think it's because Joan Cusack is in it, and therefore
Mm.
it made it a bigger movie on my radar. Um, but the 1991 Addams family is the reboot that they did for us millennials,
Mhm.
and it stars Angelica Houston, a very young but a very talented Christina Ricci.
So she was so good.
Ah, I stand. And
Like,
Christopher Lloyd as Uncle Fester.
mhm.
Um, and this is the one where Uncle Fester has been missing for decades. And
Yes.
then an imposter comes to take the Addams fortune,
Mhm.
and shenanigans ensue. And then, spoiler alert, at the end, it does actually end up being Uncle Fester because there's only one man who looks like that.
Mm. Yeah.
I think so. The thing that always tickles me about the Addams family is that it's it's meant to be like, oh, they're scary and they're outsiders or whatever, and they're like weirdos. But it's like we've made that up in our minds, and like
Mhm.
the story never plays that out, because I was like, why is it that everyone's real convinced that the Addams family is a real alternative lifestyle when they're literally the happiest people I know?
They're the happiest people. They are so rooted in family and being and like so focused on family and honoring those who like lived before them, and just again a demonstration of like the parents actually wanting to be together and loving each other and not sniping at each other, and just really showing us like, hey, this is kind of what the kind of love that you should probably look for.
Well, and I love all of the joke structures in the Addams family because none of the jokes are at the expense of anyone else in the family. Like, it's not
Right.
like Gomez is always digging in at Morticia,
Mhm.
and Pugsley is a real consensual participant in whatever weird shit Wednesday has decided that they will do. And
Mhm.
they're like real siblings. That's why I turned off the cartoon, because the first person who spoke was Pugsley and he sounded too intelligent. And I was like, that's not my Pugsley. And then I turned it off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because Pugsley in this movie doesn't really have a lot to say.
Well,
It's
and I remember that in the show, like that is Pugsley's vibe.
yeah, he's more of a quiet character, which makes sense too when you think of, or not like not it makes sense, but like when they go to the Halloween party and he dresses like Uncle Fester, it's like one of those it's like out of admiration because they're different, but they're, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he admires Fester for who he is versus like not. That was a dumb point, but you get it.
Yeah. It's like, well,
We
we all
didn't get
have
to
that.
do our get ready for the show
We did it.
vamping, so we're a little today.
We, but we all have that uncle or that aunt who is our favorite uncle or
Mhm.
aunt. I also enjoy that wins. So one of the really big things that I enjoy about the Addams family is it's not even that like no one's outwardly mean to you, but like everyone is respected and heard in that
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
So when Wednesday is the first person who starts catching on that Uncle Fester isn't Uncle Fester, or
Mhm.
there's more to the story or whatever, no one is like outwardly telling her like you're insane. You're
Right.
crazy. We've accepted this to be true. Why can't you? Like, oh, that Wednesday. And when they go to the school for the little performance,
Mhm.
and the teacher is expressing to Morticia like, "Oh, we did some projects over on our heroes."
Yes.
And Wednesday did her great aunt who was burned at the stake for a witch or whatever. There's never any like at no point are the Addams family in on the fact that that's actually weird to like basic white people. So Morticia's like, "Oh yes, that is one of our favorite family stories." And so naturally, the only connection I can make is that the Addams family are just a gothic version of my Croatian family.
I believe it based on some of the stories you told me. I did write down Hall of Heroes because on my notes, because I think that is one of the greatest scenes of the film, because it also highlights just how much they value the family lore
Hmm.
versus placing admiration. Because I think in the Hall of Heroes, you had George Bush and Barbara Bush and like all of these other faces that, you look at them and you're like,
Kids don't know anything about George Bush.
and also scratch your head, like,
Yeah.
why? And then here comes this little girl who's like, I love my family history so much that I respect it enough to share with you.
Yeah.
And like fully understands it versus again, like you said, I couldn't in 1991, I couldn't have told you what the fuck George Bush was doing.
No. So like just like literally picking the president because you know that someone has to be president of this
That
country.
or like your parents are like, who we should admire
Is George W.
is George HW.
HW.
This is 91. But still, that was a great scene to me. And then the other thing that I wrote down was I love how everyone assumes that the Addams family is a bunch of dummies when really that's just their prejudice. Like they're not. Like the Addams family just doesn't see the world the way that everyone else does, which is so freeing. But it's like because of that, everyone just assumes they're stupid.
Oh my gosh, I just got chills because now we can connect it to the other thing that we've been obsessed about this week, which is Britney Spears. Like everyone is just assuming that Britney is in crisis. And I'm not saying that she's out of crisis.
Right.
But we're not taking into context that, there's mental illness, there's medical abuse, there's a lot of distrust for society due to things that she's had to live through. And with the Addams family, they're just so comfortable in themselves, much like a naked Britney Spears twirling with knives. They're just so comfortable with themselves that at no point it's not that they don't pick up that you're questioning their culture or their family structure or their lore. They're just not questioning it with you. Like it's not making them falter on who they are as people.
Right. Exactly. And even when, like you said, even like we sense early on that Morticia isn't quite sold on this being the true Fester, but she's still loving her husband. She's still supporting him through it, but she's also proceeding with caution to still protect her family until they know for sure. And I thought it was done so beautifully because it wasn't I told you so, or I was concerned, or like this naggingness that usually comes when
brought
people,
this guy into our house. You didn't even ask questions.
Yeah, it really highlights just how solid their relationship is because she's like, my husband has to work through this. I'm going to support him, even though I have doubts. And then when it all does kind of start to fall apart, she's like, all right, let's solve this problem. And it's not like, oh, my stupid husband. Oh, I have to fix this. Oh, why didn't you listen to me? It's very much like an understanding of their partnership and the partner. I feel like I'm saying the same shit over and over and over again.
No, because I think honestly, I stopped taking notes on the movie because I was like, I have no notes on this family.
Truly.
Would move into this family's home tomorrow.
I mean, I would get freaked out because I don't like intense and scary things. But another note I wrote. So I have like no credit, like you have no criticisms of the movie. Another note I wrote was, this is just a movie of finding belonging in an unexpected way. Like,
yeah, because
and everyone feels good about it at the end.
What was Fester's amnesia name. Was it Harold? What was his name?
Gerald, Jerry,
Gerald.
George. It was a
George. Yeah.
It was a
So
yeah.
when Fester doesn't realize that he's Fester, he has this really toxic mom figure, which is probably something that we can go into. He has this very toxic mom figure who has basically made it impossible for him to not feel like an outsider. Like she revels in his violent tendencies because it helps her get her way, but then she's also only allowing him to socialize with her,
right?
So she can keep in control of him. And then through this con, he does, I mean, honestly, what I do as a person who's been used and abused, just goes, oh my gosh, are these people okay? I will become their uncle. Like, and he becomes very endeared to the kids and the lore and grandma and Lurch. And it's when he's so upset because his mean mommy isn't going to let him go to the kids' play. And he goes, but I've been helping them with it. And she's like, why? And he's like, well, it's all part of the bit, but you can very much tell it's not part of the bit.
Yeah. And it's almost, and it's like you watch him start to realize that he fits there. Like it makes sense that he's there. Even though he doesn't believe that he's a part of the family, he's not really Uncle Fester. There's something about that family that makes him feel valuable and whole. And that's the other thing that I really loved about it too, is that Fester doesn't find romantic love to make him whole. Fester just finds his community to make him whole.
Yes. And it all comes to head in a beautiful choreographed moment, which we know I love, with the mamushka. Yes. And I remember being a kid, and that used to be my favorite scene, and I would dance the mamushka.
Oh, that's adorable.
Mamushka.
Yeah. I love
because, as you know, my family likes to polka. To me, it was the same thing.
Yeah. I love it.
And like, there are so many, again, honestly, my family is going to be so pissed when I text them all and be like, I know that we thought that my Big Fat Greek wedding was the truest representation of our family we've ever seen, but have you guys revisited the Addams family in a moment?
Can't wait.
Have you guys looked into Addams Family 1991?
Can't wait for that response.
And because they have that big family party because they're so excited that Fester has been found. So of course they're going to share it with all of their family.